Listen. All right. I think we're back. Boy, I've got too many buttons to push here. I'm sorry, folks. It's getting worse every week. Hi, I'm Tom Medlin, your host of Amateur Radio Roundtable here on W5KUB.com. And we're also simulcasting our show on international shortwave station WBCQ on 5130 kilohertz. So if you're out there on shortwave and you're listening, shoot us an email and let us know how you're hearing us and where you are. Send it to Tom at, actually that's not going to work. Send it to just don't send it tonight, okay? I'll tell you what's going on, folks. I'll tell you what's going on. We cut over to a new server this afternoon. We're on a completely different hosting provider this afternoon, and it made tremendous speed gains and a lot better tech support. And we got the DNS that's kind of screwed up this afternoon, and the W5KUB was not pointing correctly. And it took about 4 hours for it to get back in the DNS servers before you guys would start seeing it. So we were afraid that people weren't going to be able to get to the show tonight, but about 2 hours before the show, it did come back on. So anyway, hopefully we're on and you guys are seeing it, and we thank you if you're here tonight. Hey, if you're first time with us, tell us in the chat room that this is your first time. We'd like to hear from you. Join our Facebook group at W5KUB. Just check at the top of the page there. We have Facebook and Twitter, but join our Facebook group. We've got about 7,000 or 8,000 members now in our group. Would love to have you there. I think we got a great show tonight. Katie's back with us, and Katie's got a lot of shack pictures. Boy, you guys sent a bunch of them in this time. Emmett's going to be back with us a little bit later in the show. Let's see what else. And we got a special deal here. We're going to talk in a minute about the SantaNet. But first, let me just say hi to Katie and Emmett. We're going to say hi to Katie and Emmett and see how they're doing. Did Emmett walk? No, Emmett's there. Let me find the camera shot here. Hey, Katie, how you doing?
Hi, Tom. Hi, everybody. Doing great. Freezing out here. It's cold and it's not getting any warmer. We got snow today, more tomorrow. So I think winter has finally arrived in Wyoming. So it's a good thing to be in the shack and run the amp and keep it nice and toasty warm down here. And where the cats like to hang out. Although actually, I don't have Peekaboo in here tonight. So anybody who's wondering, Peekaboo is not in the shack for the evening. But otherwise, all is well out here. Just getting ready for the holidays and crafting up a storm, making Christmas presents and things like that. And tried to get on the radio this weekend for the 10-meter contest and didn't hear anything. So that didn't last terribly long. And I saw a lot of people talking about that on the different chat rooms and email servers. 10 meters was just kind of a bust this past weekend, but at least we tried.
Well, let me tell you, I tried calling the net tonight. Normally we have about 40 people every week.
Yeah.
You know how many I had tonight?
Well, I did just see you post on our Facebook group
0.
that you really that bad?
It was
I saw
that bad.
you
0. I couldn't get anybody to answer me.
Quit early, but
I thought maybe my antenna was on the ground out there or something. You know, I don't know. Oh man. Well, hey, it's starting to get winter here too, and Katie, just stay warm there and play with the ham radio this winter.
Yep, that's the plan. Well, wintertime's a good time to be on the radio, except although I've been seeing all these other reports that the newest forecast for our sunspot cycle is still in the tubes for another 4 years or so. So might be time to start doing some new things like building kits or just doing something else just to have a little more fun with it still. But
I know the
and
bands,
it's going to take me 4 years to clean the shack here, so I might as well get started with that.
Yeah. I know the bands, people say they're not good, and they're not good a lot of hours during the day, but I'll tell you, you can still work just about anywhere in the world. It's just different times of the day. You just got to watch it. Yeah,
exactly.
The bands are working out there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's check in with Emmett real quick. Emmett, what have you been up to, man?
Hey Tom, how you doing? Yeah, I had a interesting time here. It's starting to cool down here in Missouri as well. Definitely not as cool as as Katie's place, but and definitely not as warm as our good friend down in Texas is having right now. But it's been cool. We've been going a couple different places. Just for those of you who are in the know or out of the know, Katie and I share a unique distinction. We're both grandparents again. We had our ninth grandchild this last week. Her name's Vega Rose, and we're really excited about bringing her in. As a matter of fact, Katie was giving me a hard time about getting text messages while I'm.
All right.
And there
so
she
pretty.
is. Oop, there we go. Move it over a little bit.
I like that pose.
There we go.
I like that pose right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting thing about her, she's got like totally black hair and it's super curly. And it's about, the same problem I had when I was younger. I had super black hair and it was always super curly. My son, Montana, he just gave up on it. So he was the guy walking around with the fro all the time. So that was kind of an adventure. And we just finished up with the Pearl Harbor tribute, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight. And a unique thing happened during that event. And 10 meters really stunk. We did get some FT8 traffic on 10 meters, but that was really, we really had to work hard to get it. But, it's almost like fishing. What you have to do is you just have to work it. My dad taught me a long time ago, one of the things that him and I used to do all the time was fish. And it's like, for me, ham radio is like fishing as well. It's like you throw your bait out there, you work it. If it's not working at that location, you're going to move it around a little bit. You just got to work it. You'll never know what's going on unless you try. So,
let me tell you,
that's about it for right now.
From what I'm hearing about FT8, it'll work anytime, anywhere, any place. The band can be completely dead. I mean, they're making contacts on FT8.
What's exciting, Katie was talking about doing other things, is that things like FT8 with EME, Earth, Moon, Earth.
Yeah.
Moon bounce.
Yep.
That program puts that type of communication within the hands of your normal hams. 100 watts will almost get you there and back if you set things up right.
And that's what we've been talking about on the show. We're definitely going to do some EME here, maybe in a few months. And I know it's possible with the
Hopefully
JT.
Santa's going to be good to you real soon.
Yeah, the JT65B. Of course, you're going to have to do it digital mode, and the FT8 might be something good there. Okay, well, stand by, and we'll get back to you here in a little while. I think we got some great things going here tonight. We're going to have some fun tonight, okay?
Woohoo!
All right. So, hey guys, I want to introduce to you Pete Thompson, KE5GGY, down in Denton, Texas. And Pete contacted me a while back, and they're running the SantaNet again this year. And I want him to talk to us about that and tell us a little about the 3916 net. So let me see if I can bring Pete in here and see if I can get him in here. Pete, are you there, Pete?
Amazing, I am.
There you go. Okay, I got you there now, Pete. Well, hey, Pete.
I need to work on my lighting, though. I can tell I just need to get a lighting tree in here, but we'll do that next time I'm on.
Well, that's fine. You're doing pretty good there. You're doing good. Now, hey, Pete, welcome to the show. And this is an interesting thing that happens. Ham radio can be used for a lot of things, but this is kind of neat what you guys are doing with 3916. But why don't you talk to me a little bit first about how this came about? I guess the 3916 nets, and then how you guys moved into something like this.
Well, it started 13 years ago. I had a young boy at home. He was 8 or 9. He's long gone now. He's a big boy in college. He calls when he needs money. But anyway, we were on 80 meters one night on 3916, which is a very friendly frequency on 80 meters. If you're looking for a friendly place, check it out. But there were 4 or 5 of us late night on Christmas Eve talking about Santa, and somebody came up with the idea of, hey, why don't you relay in Santa for my son? I'll do it for you. And that night, SantaNet was born, and it was clunky. It was like 3 or 4 of us at most. But each year we started doing it a little bit more than we'd expanded out. And now 13 years later, we start the day after Thanksgiving. We go all the way through Christmas Eve. We'll have we're projected to have about 800 children connect with Santa Claus through 3916 this year. And it's just terrific. It's a great outreach for ham radio, obviously. We get kids into the holiday Christmas spirit, connect them with ham radio. And I'll tell you who really benefits almost as much as the kids or the parents and the grandparents, because they just live Christmas all over again.
Well, hey, and I stole some pictures off your site. First of all, let's just let everybody know where it is here, man. This is the Santa's on Ham Radio, right? And you're going to be on until Christmas?
Christmas Eve. Yeah, Christmas Eve is our last night.
Okay. Hey, tell us about some of these pictures. Are these off your website? Do people just send pictures in, or how does this work?
Yeah, so the website to go to check in is cqsanta.com, and we have a link on the website where people can submit either videos or pictures. That's one of my favorites right there.
Yeah, that
and
one
these
right
are
there.
children
Yeah.
either before or after they've made a contact to Santa, so you can see some big smiles.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And people from all over the world check into this net, and kids talk to Santa, right?
Yeah. So we have relays strategically positioned throughout North America, and the net's going on right now. I've been listening to it. There's probably 8 or 9 relay stations. So we have Arizona, a couple in Texas, one in Iowa, Michigan, New York, and Alabama. And through all those relays, we're able to pretty much regardless of where a station's calling from, we're able to link them up with Santa. So the relays, you were talking about band conditions a moment ago. The relays on 80 are critical because the band has been so long lately. But with the relay team we have, if there's somebody out there, we pretty much get them connected.
Well, that's great. I know trying to call a 40-meter net here, it's pretty limited to just this part of the country, and I'm wanting to expand it. Well, like you're doing with relay nets, where I can hear people in the West can check in and so forth. So that's great the way you guys operate the multiple net controls out there, and that's pretty cool. Now, so what else can you tell us about the Santa net here? What do you got there?
This is one of Santa's elves came to help me tonight. He heard it. He's a real camera hog. Whenever there's a photo op, he's jumping in front of the camera.
Well, I thought he had some Christmas things on there, but I guess that red probably is everyday red around him there.
He's a rescue dog. Anyway, I'm sorry. I interrupted you with the dog.
That's all right.
That's all right. We're a pet-friendly show. It happens all the time. I'm always getting photobombed by a cat or something. So. He's cute too.
He's a rescue too.
Oh, nice. Hi, bud.
Well, hey, tell us. Let's just kind of jump back and forth a little bit. Tell us about the 3916 net. How friendly it is. I think I've checked into it maybe once or twice. I'm not a real net person, but
interesting history on 3916. It started back in '98 when there was a station by the name of call sign W4FCW. Was trying to check into an 80-meter frequency somewhere, and I'm not sure what frequency it was, but they pretty much uninvited him. They said, "Get out of here." And so he went to 3916 and said, "You know what? If they won't have me, I'm going to start my own." So he started a net on a November night in 1998, and kind of like SantaNet, it just kind of grew. It snowballed from there. So what are we? 20 years later, and we have. I guess maybe 3,000, 3,500 members on Facebook. We're on every night with 3 different nets. We start at 7 with a group called the Rag Chew, and that's just kind of a game of radio tag. 8:30 we start the Tailgaters. 9 o'clock we have trivia, and that has been a big hit. We play trivia every night at 9 o'clock, and it's coast to coast. We have 1 or 2 moderators on the trivia asking questions, and it's great. It's like a game show. Except we don't give away money.
Now, I've listened to the trivia before. That's a really interesting show right there.
And then 10 o'clock is our heritage freewheelers net. So the freewheelers was the first net on 3916, but we've since expanded back to the early nets. I'm on more early than late because I eventually do have to get some work done in my day job, and I do that at night.
Wow! So you guys just about fill up the whole evening there on 3916.
We do. It's fun.
Yeah. So I know you've got real good connections with the North Pole there. I'd like for you to see if you can arrange a little later in the show. Maybe we can meet Santa Claus. I think he froze on me there. Hello, are you? Katie, you're still
froze.
there, right?
At least he froze smiling.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He froze smiling.
I always
did.
freeze like,
Huh. Well, just when I was about to ask him if he could arrange later in the show for us to meet Santa Claus, then look what happens here, man. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here with him, but we will move on here.
Yeah. I didn't know about all those nets on the 3916. That sounds like fun, especially the trivia.
Well, 3916, I've checked into them regularly. As a matter of fact, on 80 meters or 75 meters, whenever I would just want to see what's going on, I'll typically tune in, and it's nice. It's a good round table. At times, especially during the trivia thing, he gets a lot of people in throwing in answers, and it's a fun net. And
it sounds like it.
Freewheelers and tailgaters. That's always been a fun net to check in when I can. But as a matter of fact, when I am down in Dallas, I have a tendency of checking in at my friend's house, and it's always fun.
Well, look at there.
Right.
Pete did make it back. Hey, Pete, welcome back.
Sorry, the dog unplugged me, I think.
Is that right? Oh well, okay.
I was gonna say, blame the dog.
So I was seeing. I know you have good connections with the North Pole there, and I was hoping that sometime during the show you could contact them and maybe get us a special Skype appearance with Santa Claus or something.
Let me see what I can do. I know
see what
a
you
guy
can do about that,
and
try to get back with us in the show, or just have Santa call in or something, and we'll. I'd love to talk to him and tell him what I want for Christmas. I want some new radios.
Let me get working on that. It may take a couple of minutes, and I'm going to have to pull some strings, but I'll be back in a few minutes, hopefully with the big man.
Well, that's great. Hey, Pete,
great.
Thanks so much for coming on and talking about 3916 and the Santa Net, and we'll continue to talk about it a little bit here.
My pleasure.
We'll see you. Thanks.
Thank you.
That's funny.
All right.
Brett in the
So,
chat room
Katie,
says the dog ate my USB cable.
all right. So, Katie, we got a bunch of shack pictures we need to do tonight.
Let me put my readers on here so I can look at my list.
And let's see if I can get them up
Hear the
on
dog
the
walking
screen
away.
here.
It's cute.
All right. Now, I think I got them in the right order, Katie. Are you ready?
I am ready, Freddie.
All right. Let's just see if these things will come up here. What are we? Okay.
All right. Oh, yeah, there's our first one. All right. Welcome to Show Us Your Shack segment here on W5KUB. Tonight, we are starting with, that is really impressive looking. Okay, this is George Hoffman. Kilo, I know, I'm drooling at the shack here. Kilo Delta 4 Mike X-Ray Alpha. He took this picture while he was operating November sweeps. He's running a Kenwood TS2000, and he's got it in an old Alesis mixer for some audio processing. And then he says just an inexpensive microphone that he got from W2IHY back into the radio. He's still tinkering around with it, but he says it's working well for him, and looks like he was working pretty good in the contest. And so that's down in Salisbury, North Carolina. Thanks, George.
All right. Hey, and Emmett, jump in if you see anything you want to shout about, okay?
I will do that, sir.
All right.
Yeah, because a lot of times we get stuff and they don't put everything that's in there. So now we're moving up the coast a little bit to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is Bob Crawford's shack. He's Kilo Charlie 3 Alpha November Sugar. He says, I don't need a ton of fancy toys to be a ham radio operator. Just use what you have and have some fun. That's what it's all about. And so he's running an ICOM 738, and he's got a desk mic. And outside, he's got a 40-meter inverted V up 36 feet. And then he's got a 20-meter inverted V off the top of his deck just at about 15 feet. And he's using an old A99 for his 10, 15, 17, and 12 meters. He's also got an old Galaxy CB radio, which and as well as an old 50s Helicrafter shortwave, and those were what got him interested to begin with.
Yeah, I tell you, that Helicrafter shortwave there, I had one very similar to that 50 years ago. Man, that was something back then.
Oh yeah,
that was
absolutely.
Cool.
It looks like it's in really nice shape.
Oh,
too.
it is. It is.
All right, so now we are moving over to Dennis Steele. He's Kilo 6 Kilo Radio Victor. And in his shack, he's got the Yaesu FT950, along with the LDG 1000-watt auto tuner and antenna tuner, and the AL80B amplifier. And for his antenna, he's got a 14 AVQ. It's ground mounted. And he says he has a nice but small collection of boat anchors and a bunch of QRP rigs as well. He is only a CW operator, and he's been licensed since 1953. And he says, what a great lifelong hobby, that's for sure.
Yeah, it has been. Wow.
Yeah, there's a couple of I see a couple of keys on his desk there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Christopher Corbett. I'm having a terrible time tonight. Sorry, guys. Whiskey Zero, Whiskey Charlie. And he thinks it's not the prettiest setup, but I think he did just fine. It looks good to me. He's running a Kenwood TS680S through an MFJ Versa tuner out of a quarter wave dipole at 30 feet. He's also got a Yaesu FT 2900, and that's attached to a 5/8 wave vertical, and he's using that for 2 meters. And he's got the Vertex VX 800 for his HT, along with a couple of other cost-effective makes and models. And he puts cost-effective in his quote, so I'm guessing maybe he doesn't want to talk about what brands those were.
They're inexpensive.
Inexpensive, which you can't go wrong. I got a couple of inexpensive ones upstairs myself. And then he's also using a Signal Link hooked up with a Raspberry Pi 3 to run his FT8 with the Kenwood. So great job, Christopher. It looks good.
Cool.
Now we're moving across the pond here with John Tubrit, Echo India 3 Hotel Queen Bravo. And he says he's got all old school. He's running FT 101 Zulu Delta, and as well as an aesthetic, good grief, I can't pronounce that.
Aesthetic.
What?
Aesthetic, I guess. Aesthetic. D104.
Aesthetic. Totally brutalizing that one. D104, Mike. And look at all those cabinets. He said he's made all of those. So all the woodworking in his shack is all done by him as well. So he's got quite the talent, but that is really a pretty setup there.
Yeah. Now, Katie, he's from Ireland. You made a trip over to Ireland this past year. Didn't you visit some clubs over there?
No, we didn't make it to Ireland yet. We were in Scotland and England, and we went to the club we visited was in Stirling in the UK, over there in Scotland.
Oh yeah,
right next to the pub.
All right.
Not their club. Their club was in the middle of nowhere. If you remember, we got lost getting there.
The pub next to the pub.
Oh, next to the pub. Okay. All right. So we are now. Oh, there's Roger. Okay, Roger Barkley is Whiskey 6, Lima Alpha X-Ray, Kilo 3/Papa 3. Must operate around. Let's see. He's running an Alpha 8410, and he's got a Step IR 3 element. He's recently got into the SKCC, which is a straight key club, and he says he's having a ball. So even when the band is dead to DX, there's activity across the U.S., and it's a great club. So there's another place to get involved. And he's got a nice kitchen table, and then he's got some setup below there for his computers, and looks like power. Yeah, it looks like probably his Astron down there. And it looks I've
got a few things like that under my bench, and there you can use your feet to turn them on and off.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right.
So
very
I'm sorry.
Nice. And Roger's over in Northridge, California. I have no idea where that is, but I'm wondering if it's Southern California with an LAX for his call sign, unless that was just
I don't know.
Unless that just happened to work out that way.
I don't know. Now this guy here, he really caused me some problems this afternoon, Dan, because on his posting, his name is David.
Oh,
and when I loaded up all the pictures, I couldn't find a David, but there was a Dan I didn't know what to do with.
Oh, all right. Well, if the call sign matches up, then we're good. So Dan, Echo Alpha 4 Ocean Foxtrot from Blackshear, Georgia. And my list doesn't even come close to listing everything that's in his shack, but he's got the Yaesu FT450, an ICOM IC820H, the ICOM 706 Mark II-G, and then there's also a 6-meter amp, a Mirage 2-meter amp, and a 440 amp. He's got a Signal Link running. Obviously, he's got a whole bunch of stuff in there. Looks like he might need some supports for some of those shelves pretty soon.
Yeah.
He's really got it weighed down, but Dan is keeping himself busy with ham radio. That's what
it's hard. It was hard to follow you there. You're going to have to point out each piece of equipment next time.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll do that for sure. Dreamer. All right, so our friend James Lee, who is Whiskey X-Ray 4 Tango Victor, the father of the Lee family. You know, all of the kids and his lovely bride Michelle are doing lots of ham radio activities, and this was what they were doing on their Kilo 4 Papa special event station down in Palm Coast, Florida, when they were commemorating the memory of, what does the CPO stand for?
Chief Petty Officer.
Chief Petty Officer. Okay, thank you. I knew you'd know that one. James Boo, who died on board of the USS Oklahoma at Pearl Harbor. So this was just over the Pearl Harbor Special Event Weekend Station. And I know that they were also using this for some of their practice because they're getting ready to go down to the Dry Tortugas again to Fort Jefferson and activate the national park down there and do some operating. So this was a good opportunity for them to get out and run their systems a little bit. And there's quite a few videos of the girls operating from this past weekend. So if you check out hamradio.world, you can see about all of their different activities.
Now, I haven't had time to look in the chat room, but I bet you that they are in the chat room tonight.
No, they had a club meeting tonight.
Oh, okay.
I already checked.
All right, very good, very good.
So thanks, James, for sending that one in. Now we're going back over outside of we're going all the way to the Philippines tonight. Wow.
Yeah.
This is with Delta Whiskey 3 Tango Delta Juliet, Tristan, and he's running the Yaesu 787 GX along with an MFJ 949C. He's got a Motorola there, a GM 300, and he's got a nice setup there, and that's really nice to get it. I think this is our first time we've had the Philippines in our show as your Shack segment. That's
Katie,
pretty cool.
I didn't know our show went that far.
Well,
you know?
I didn't know that anybody over there wanted to watch it, so I'm impressed. Well, that's pretty good.
We do have regulars from Australia that's in there all the time. But cool, Philippines. Thank you for sending that in.
Yeah, that's terrific. Thanks, Tristan. Oh, we got another mini dog.
Hey, we're getting some. Hey, look at here. We're getting some DX stations in here.
Super. All right, so this is obviously Craig is another out of the States. Very cool. Echo Alpha 1, he stroke Golf 1, Victor Queen India. This is his portable operating with this is the Klansman PRC 320, and this is when he was operating from a hill outside of La Coruna in northern Spain. Very nice. That looks like a pretty easy way to go out and about.
That's pretty cool, the old military.
It'd be nice to see some photos of more of that area, too. I'll have to check her. Hey, Craig, post some more photos on the Facebook group for us to see that.
Yeah. Now, you're going to have to make this one up.
You know, Angel is November Radio 3 November. I went onto his Facebook, his QRZ page. He's a very active CW operator. He has his from the HRD logbook that you can use online, and showed a ton of contacts. He's been very active on the air and didn't list what his radios were, but as you can see, he's got quite a nice setup in there. And again, Angel's very active. He does a lot with clubs as well. Really nice QRZ page. So if you go check him out, November Radio 3 November, you can see a little bit more about what he's doing with ham radio. Really good stuff. I'm sorry, I forgot to write it down. I ended up getting pulled away from the computer today.
I like the colors. I like the color he's got there.
All right, now back over across the pond. One again. Wow, we're really having an international show us your shack tonight.
We are.
Ian is Mike 0, Charlie Juliet Yankee. He's running a Yaesu FT 950. He's also got an Ameritron 811 and the LDG 1000 Pro tuner. And he also has the ICOM 7100. He's got a little Bofang for his HT. And he also has a Shack beer in there. So apparently Coors Light is his beer of choice. You would think over in England you would have some better choices than Coors Light.
Well, I was going to say, it looks like he's got imported beer there.
Yeah, I guess for him it is imported, isn't it?
Yeah, it's imported beer. Cool.
Thanks, Ian, for sending that in. That's fun. Okay, so now back down into Southern California with Keith Ford, Kilo 6 Golf Kilo Bravo. He's down in the Mojave Desert. So let's see. Let me catch up with my list here. He has got, let's see, an FT 450D and an FT 857, ICOM 720A, and he's also got some 224, excuse me, a 2 meter, 220, 440, and amateur radio TV going on and digital television. So he's obviously got a variety of activities and interests with ham radio. So very cool, Keith.
Got a lot going on there. Well, this doesn't show a whole lot. Our friend Josh sent this next one in. You can tell us where it is.
Josh Holsanasinisi?
Maybe, I don't know if you can tell us where it is or not. It's
Hashnasi.
Wait,
Josh is
Hashanasi.
I put the writing in white and I can't read it on the
Yeah, Bertha Park activation up in Big Bear, California. I know Josh likes to get out and do some soda activations. He's working on that, so that must be where he's at.
Well, Josh may be on with us next week, and we might do a little short video on some of these activations here and have a little short video from him there.
Very cool. Well, he says he's got the, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, right? The Xiegu.
Oh.
Anybody know that Xiegu radio?
Xiegu.
Yeah. It's a little QRP rig, and he's got the QRP Guys 3-band kit vertical antenna. So
I don't know.
It's like a fairly easy setup to take off the road.
I don't know.
Now we're moving on to Ron Del Pier. He's Kilo Delta 9, India Papa Ocean. He's got the FTDX 3000. He's got running some roofing filters. He's also got the ICOM 706 Mark II-G. And he's using the Time Wave PSK 232 and an AT180 tuner.
There's Renato from Sao Paulo.
Yes, Papa Yankee 2, Radio Lima Mike. And he has he operates portable, only homebrew QRP. And he says the antenna fed, he's got the Alex loop, and he's down there in St. Paulo. So he's out in the field, and look at that. That is pretty slick looking. And that looks like a mini Kier he's got
and
just
you can
above
travel
it,
light.
I think.
Travel light. Look at that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Cool.
Everything fits in that little Alex loop bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very handy. So now we're at with Fred Bennett, who is November Zulu 4 Delta X-ray. He has the ICOM 7700 and a Kenwood TS2000. And then for his handheld, he's got the ID 51 plus 2 HD. And he's using a Signal-like USB for both of his rigs. And then he says numerous keys. So obviously he is a CW fan.
All right.
I guess I better unmute. Sorry, I had on our last one here tonight is from Michael Whitman. Michael is Kilo Delta 4, Kilo India Delta. He's got the Kenwood TS450. And he's using a G5RV up at 45 feet. He's also got many portable QRP rigs. So it's another one that likes to go out in the field. So very cool. Thanks so much for sending those in, Michael. And that is our Show Us Your Shacks as it stands,
wow.
Tom.
Katie, an outstanding job. I'm glad you were back with us now. That was probably one of the best
segments. Losing my voice halfway through it. I feel like I'm fighting a bit of a cold, so I apologize. I kept having to have a little problem during that, gang, but we did it.
We did it. Very good. Thank you so much for doing it. And you know, hey, guess what, guys? You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this, but we've got a special guest. It looks like Pete was able to pull some strings. Did you hear that? Let me cut over here. We've got a special Skype coming in here right now. We've got a Skype coming in from the, let's
Katie.
see.
She's been good.
There we go.
There's Tom. He's been bad.
Bad? I hope not.
Tom's not getting anything this year.
I wanted a new radio.
I'm sorry. Hi, Tom. You're a good guy.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, hey.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
I guess.
Santa.
This is Rowdy. He's one of the elves' dogs. We have rescue dogs here at the North Pole, so if you can rescue, be sure to do it. It's good. These little guys need homes. Anyway, hello.
Well, hey, I'm guessing you've got a lot of ham radios in your bag. Don't those things get pretty heavy?
They do, but and the 3916 Nets has kept me so busy this year, talking to good boys and girls every night. But yes, we have lots of ham gear. What would you like this year, Tom?
Well, I've got about everything I need, Santa.
Okay, thank you very much.
Santa, let me ask for peace in the world. How's that?
What's that?
How about peace in the world?
We are working on that at all times. Yes,
all right.
And that is a good wish. Thank you. You're redeeming yourself somewhat tonight.
Yeah. Hey, your little elf right there looks like he's about to go to sleep at times. You must be working him pretty hard.
Yes. But anyway, yes, we're having fun on 3916 every night at 7:30 p.m. And anybody that wants to talk to me, just go to cqsanta.com, and we're on, I think, every night through Christmas Eve, and then I start my vacation the next day.
Yeah, well, look, hey, the chat room's already talking about you. Jill says she will leave some pizza and a beer there for you. Be sure and stop by.
What do you think of my beer? Do you like it?
I like it.
I go to the hair club for men for this. It's pretty good stuff.
I was going to say, do you comb it out? It looks a little tangled to me.
It's just the way it came. I can't do anything about it. Can't do a thing with it, my hair.
It matches your hair, too.
7610. Can you pull that one off?
What's that, Katie?
Yeah, so put Bill on your good list. W4EWH. He would like an ICOM 7610.
All right. Well, hey, Santa.
My husband says he wants a 7610, but you can just ignore him. He's been a bad boy. And
well, Santa,
you
thank you.
Get me a 7610.
Anything for you, Katie. You're my favorite.
Oh, shucks. Thanks, Santa.
Yeah. Thank you, Santa. Thank you so much for dropping in. I know you're busy, and thank you so much for dropping in. And please be sure and stop by my house here, in a couple weeks. Love to see you.
Okay. Well, ho, ho, ho! And don't forget, cqsanta.com to check in. cqsanta.com. Merry Christmas, everybody from the North Pole. Gotta go. Ho,
yeah, cqsanta.com. Okay, we've got it. We'll see you, Santa. Goodbye.
Bye now.
Thanks, Santa.
All right. Well, hey, how you like it, guys? We try to do, breaking things on this show, and this is probably the first ham radio show that has brought Santa in from the North Pole. So I think we did really, really good tonight. We did great. Hey, so let's do something. Let's see. Okay, we're about on schedule. I'll be back with you guys in just a minute. Don't anybody go away, and we'll be back. For the love of the holidays, surprise your favorite ham this season with a gift that's on their hot list. The holidays are just around the corner, and ICOM has plenty of cheer for everyone. The IC7610 is the SDR that every ham wants, and it's just in time for the holidays. This high-performance SDR has the ability to pick out the faintest of signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The ICOM 7610 is a direct sampling, software-defined radio that will change the world's definition of a SDR transceiver. Changing the way entry-level HF is designed, the IC7300 is a high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design and will exceed your expectations with its RF direct sampling, large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, and its real-time spectrum scope. The IC-R30 raises the bar on DC to daylight receivers. Powerful yet easy to use, the R30 is packed full of features you have become to expect from ICOM, like a built-in GPS and Bluetooth, dual bandwidth recording, high-speed scan, and Android and iOS apps. If you're looking for the perfect stocking stuffer, the ID51A Plus 2 provides new modes for extended D-Star coverage. Enjoy integrated GPS, independent AM/FM receiver, and a free Android app. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios. Okay, we're back, and hey, I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning of the show or not, but I just want to remind everybody, I'm heading for Fort Benning, Georgia tomorrow, the Army down at Fort Benning, and I'm going to be down here a few days. We have a nephew that's actually graduating military basic training on Thursday, and he's going to get out of that basic training place. The first week he was there, he was able to sneak a note out And he says, boy, I hate this place. I don't like it. But you know what? He's been there 8 weeks now, and I think it takes a few weeks, kind of to get you, in line. And hey, he looks like he's in line and a perfect guy now. So hey, probably the best thing that ever happened to him. And we're going to go down and see his graduation there. And so that means tomorrow I'm going to be mobile about 4 or 5 hours tomorrow. Watch the Facebook group, W5KUB Facebook group. I'll post when I'm on. I'd like to try to work you guys, and I'd like to work you through our Rig Pi, the remote base deal that I'm testing here. So I'll have a remote control of my radio here at home, and the car going down Wednesday, and the car coming back probably Friday afternoon. So watch for me on 40 meters there. Hey, I want to show you just something quick. Hey, I had to take out a little transistor in the Rig Pi, and it's all surface mount technology. And so I unsoldered a little surface mount transistor in there. And even though I got a fairly small soldering iron, man, the tip's about as big as the entire component here. That's a transistor right there. It's got 3 leads on it, and you can see it's about the size of the end of that ballpoint pen right there. That's some tough soldering there, believe me, if you're not really set up to do surface mount stuff. But stuff is getting so small now, and I've got a good microscope. I've got a commercial microscope here. This thing probably would cost you $1,000 if you went out on the market and bought it. It's a MEIJI, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's an industrial microscope. But I went out on the internet the other day and I saw one for $30. I saw one for $30. Look at this thing. $30. It's high definition. It's like 600 times magnification. I've got a little short 1-minute video here. I want to show you. I'm holding a little part under it. Watch this.
Does it connect to USB so you can capture the image?
You can capture images, take pictures with it. It does have a USB connection on it. Let's run this little video and you'll see how it magnifies here. Watch this. So guys, I had to change out a surface mount transistor in the Rig Pi this weekend. I want to show you something. You see it there? It's pretty small. About the size of a gnat, actually.
Dirty hands.
You can see that. And
wow, that is really good. Holy cow.
Got a little thing here I want to show you. I've got this little microscope here.
That is really nice.
It's a 600 power LCD digital microscope. Look at that thing. It was only like $32, but it does a tremendous job. Let me see if I can turn it on here. See if I can show you how it works here. There we go. All right, you notice there's the little part down there, but look at the screen here. And it's you can focus it. Got a focus knob on it, and you can even go up and down to make it different sizes. I thought that was really cool. But this is what it looks like. That's not bad for $32 or $33. It's pretty cool, and it really does magnify, and you can work really well under it. Let me put something else under here. Let's see if we can check this out right here. So there you can see the circuit board there. Look at that. There's a crystal. hard to hold a camera and do it at the same time. But this thing is it's a pretty amazing little piece of equipment for only $30-something. So, take a look at that. You know, it came in handy this weekend. Look at this thing. Comes on a little stand.
That's really cool.
LCD here. You can, move it up and down. You can adjust the focus on it. You can't beat that for about $32 free shipping, man. And you know what? It does about as good. Well, my other scope over there, microscope, it's great. But wearing glasses, I have a little bit of trouble, looking into that microscope over there. I have to take my glasses off. And the thing about working with a scope, if you guys have ever worked with a microscope like that, you can take a pin, a straight pin, and it looks like a baseball bat when you put it underneath the microscope there. But anyway, hey, that might make a good Christmas present for somebody. I got it from Gear Best, and like low 30s is what it cost here. So wow. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that and let you know, something I'm playing with here. So. Let's talk with Emmett. We're going to talk about batfish and some things like that. So, Emmett, how you doing here, Emmett? Come on in.
I'm
here and
wide
talk
awake.
To us.
Thank you very much. That was really cool seeing that camera. That makes me want to go out and explore it a little bit more. My first not my camera, but my first microscope my mom got me from a medical supply place, and I still have that microscope, which is really cool. It comes in a big wooden case and it has all its lenses and all that, and I actually still use it to this day, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, that's really cool. But anyway, the interesting things have been happening here. Of course, some of you may know it or may not know it. I'm another grandfather again. Had grandbaby number 9 come in last week. Her name is Vega Rose, named after the constellation. And I'm trying to figure a couple things out here real quick. There we go. Let's go right there. You see that?
No.
Share screen. There we go. There you go. There's Rochelle with my daughter Simone.
Oh, okay.
Getting ready to have Vega Rose. And there's me with Vega Rose. It's a sweet little thing. Little black hair, really curly hair. And then immediately right after that, the baby came at just the right time, because the very next day I was leaving for Oklahoma, and I was going to have to put the trip off had little Vega Rose not come, at whatever time she came. Because if any of you know my wife, you know what I would have to deal with if I were not there, if my granddaughter or grandson was born. So it was very convenient and very, very good. So anyway, we headed off to Oklahoma for the USS Batfish. The USS Batfish is a submarine. It is a Gato-class submarine. It's approximately 300 and something feet long by 18 feet wide. And they floated that submarine up the Arkansas River when it was at a high water period, and they literally flooded the lake, even the river even more. The Corps of Engineers did, to bring the water level up so they could float it into this place where the submarine just sits. And here, I'll stop sharing for a few seconds. They're in my back.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Anyway, they floated the whole ship up the Arkansas River, and it's still considered a reserve ship, which is kind of interesting. And they flooded this one area, they floated it back, and then they let the water levels go down, and it settled into its place in a field out in Muskogee, Oklahoma. So it gets to be kind of interesting when I tell people I'm in a submarine in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and they go, "Huh? How did you do that?" So anyway, it was very interesting, and this year was a very special year in the sense that they were dedicating a new building in Flagler County, Florida, in Palm. I don't want to say Palm Beach. I can't remember what the town was, but it was Disabled American Vets Association. I believe it was number 82, was dedicating a new building to Chief Petty Officer Boone, and he was the bandmaster, and they had just finished playing the national anthem when the ship was sunk, and he went down with the ship and didn't come back. And we arranged for a QSO to send a message from the USS Batfish, because that's where we were operating from. But officially, we used the call sign for the USS Oklahoma, which in that museum area is also the USS Oklahoma Memorial. We have one of the stacks in the back of the museum from the USS Oklahoma. So anyway, I'm going to switch back to my thing, my screen again. Okay, do you see that? Okay, what we basically did is the very first thing we did is we went came in on Thursday night, and one of the things that I did is I had a couple of these Zen Muse, or anyway, it was these little hotspots that can do both D-Star and DMR, and we had the kids put these hotspots together, and it was really kind of funny because you basically set them in the middle of the table, and within 15 minutes they had them all put together and operational, which to me that's really, really cool. That these kids, the kids can still do this kind of stuff today. And this is the USS Batfish. As you can see, it was kind of cold and dreary. It was like in the 30s, lower 30s. And it got to be kind of interesting. And oh, by the way, James Lee is on in the chat room. They just got home from their meeting. He's WX4 TV, and he's getting ready to head out to the Dry Tortugas, which we did during National Parks on the Air, and it's a really fun place to go visit. And he's done a lot. They've done a lot of practice. They've tested out their systems, which is really good, because once you get on that island, you've got what you've got, and that's all you've got. And so anyway, one of the things that we did was, who's this guy? This guy showed up to the museum ship, and he actually recorded it. You can find.
I'll let Jason out.
Yeah, I know. Can you believe it? He left the state of Texas. Can you believe that?
I don't know why he would do that this time of year. Look at it. He even had to bring a hat.
There's no heat down there in that sub, and so it was pretty cool down there. But he had a good time. He basically he did a stream, but we couldn't because our internet bandwidth wasn't big enough. So what he ended up doing is recording it, and then he posted it on his YouTube channel. And this is a picture of everyone just before the thing. That's my son, Colorado. That's a little troublemaker, and that's another troublemaker, and that's Wade Harris, and that's Paul Goulet. And basically, when we do the Batfish for the submarine, we try to get the youth involved. And in many cases, it's almost a totally youth event where they're working like Museum Ships Weekend. They're working from the submarine, and it gets to be kind of interesting listening to their stories when they go back to school, and everyone will ask them, "What'd you do this weekend?" "I was in a submarine." "What?" And literally these guys stay overnight in the sub. They really don't leave it that much, so it's pretty cool. And Tom, you've got a video that I sent you, or that James Lee put together. It was a combination of both the videos from our side on the Batfish, and then James' side on the on Palm Coast side. Can you play that now?
I can. I don't think you're going to hear the audio, and the way it's set up.
That's okay. I'll watch.
The way it's set up, if you talk, you'll be talking over the video. I'll try to hold a mic to it. Maybe you can hear some of it. So let's play the video. Here we go. Let's see. Okay.
Whiskey, Whiskey 2, Oscar Kilo. This is Kilo 4 Papa.
Kilo 4 Papa, this is Whiskey, Whiskey 2. Oscar Kilo, over.
special event for the disabled American veterans. Chapter 86 in Concord, Florida. James Bowie was one of the petty officers, and he was also the bandmaster on the USS Oklahoma. And he was killed on December 7th, 1941. That is 77 years ago to the day at Pearl Harbor. We are remembering him today.
This is Madison. I'm 20 years old aboard the USS Batfish for the Memorial of Pearl Harbor.
Thank you for allowing us to,
Thank you for allowing us
to
participate in this special event.
Over.
Okay, QSL, and do you want to tell the people, there are a bunch of people here watching, do you want to tell the people about what you're doing and where you are?
We're inside the USS Batfish, a World War II submarine, located in Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Okay, QSL, well, thank you for participating. This is Kilo 4 Papa.
Kilo 4 Pop, we do have traffic for your station, over.
Kilo 4 Papa, standing by, we're ready.
Kilo 4 Papa, this is Whiskey.
Whiskey 2, Oscar Kilo, we have a special message from the USS Oklahoma Memorial Amateur Radio Club. Prepare to copy, over.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, go ahead. Please copy.
Please copy. 2, DAV.
James Bowie, Chapter 86. Care of November 3, Juliet Uniform Yankee, via Florida phone traffic net. Greetings from the USS Batfish.
In honor of the sacrifice made by Chief Petty Officer James Bowie on
December 7th, 1941.
Okay, work done.
May his memory be a blessing. Stop. Signed,
Madison Brown, Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Yankee Delta, Private, Texas State Guard. God bless America and all of those who serve. Whiskey, Whiskey.
2, Oscar Kilo. End of message. Over.
Message received. Thank you very much. Kilo 4 Papa.
All right. That was a nice video.
Thank you.
And we didn't even.
I did the video on my side, and James Lee did the video on his side, and I sent him my copy, and he put them together.
Right.
But interesting thing, though, he was using one of our expedition hex beams, and of course, the Batfish uses a hex beam, so we were talking hex beam to hex beam on 20 meters, and you notice that everything was nice and solid, which I really liked. That was really cool. Although towards the end, you could hear the band conditions changing. You know, when you get that, you got that little wave of, the signal comes in really strong and then just kind of drops away, then comes back up again. Just drives you nuts. But yeah, it was a great time. Had a good friend there, W5 BFF Jerry. He was a big hand in helping out as well. He brought his 3 sons. And it was a fun thing. Virginia was trying to get there, but she had other things in Fort Worth that she was busy trying to do. I was trying to talk her into coming down and playing the pipes, which would have been really cool. She did it once before. There is a video that I think we posted on the USS Batfish website showing Virginia playing the pipes on the conning tower, which was absolutely cool. We enjoyed that a lot. But it was a good time. It was kind of solemn because most of the people in that submarine, as far as the grown-ups, were vets, and we've all experienced some loss, and we've all experienced some things in our life, and it was hard for us to keep our emotions in check, during that period of time, knowing, who this person was, and the people that were lost, from that boat during, that day, that infamous day in Pearl Harbor. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting. You didn't hear a lot of, communications from us to the kids towards the end because we were trying to keep ourselves together for the video. Anyway, but it was fun. There's not a lot of opportunities to do this kind of stuff, and every time we get a chance, we like to try and bring kids in, and they'll never forget this. And by the way, just about everyone in that room, I think everyone in that room did have a call sign of at least a technician or greater. I know my son's got his general's license, and I know that a couple of Jerry's kids have their general's license as well, and they're going to be working on their extra soon too. So that's going to be neat. So for me, that's encouraging to hear that, to have that many kids. There are two other kids that normally show up that they all both had different engagements. One had a robotics fair, and the other one had to study for some tests. So be listening for the USS Batfish and the USS Oklahoma during Museum Ships Weekend, because the kids will be running it then as well. And we're going to be introducing a new mode this next time too. And this falls in line with a lot of what Katie was talking about, how a lot of these bands are really getting stinky because of just the way the solar minimum is going. You know, we're going from a solar minimum to a grand solar minimum, and there's even talk of a super grand solar minimum, which is like one layer down below that. And everyone's saying, oh gosh, ham radio's dead. No, you just got to learn to work it, because, as a ham, it's not always, like FM radio where it's point to point. We never know what we're going to get. It's a mixed bag of tricks. We can estimate, how things are going to go, but we're not always sure that that's the way what's going to happen. So one of the new modes that we're going to do this next time out, and this is where, Katie came in. She's talking about we got to start figuring out other things to do, build more kits, and we're going to start looking at doing like UHF and VHF. Now that we've started building the quads and all that, we're looking at doing things like Earth, Moon, Earth, EME, meteor scatter. You've got the satellites that are constantly flying over. India just recently launched a geostationary satellite over their area, which I thought that was really cool. That was it was a government-sponsored project, but still for amateur use, to have a geostationary repeater in the air, that's absolutely cool. But the other thing it does is bringing the UHF, VHF antenna products. Just a second, I'm going to switch to my screen again. Things like our 400 megahertz, our 440, our 70 centimeter quad, putting a pair of those together, and then using a pair of the 2 meter, quads, and then set one up for horizontal, the other one up for vertical, gives you, a fairly decent circular polarization. So you'll be able to talk, believe it or not, with the newer lower power, super minimal modes that we've got, like FT8, and I'm hearing FT68 and other things. You actually stand a chance now, you, me, and whomever, stand a chance of actually bouncing a signal off the moon, having it come back, and maybe even having a QSO or two. And that will be a fun experiment for most of us, just to try and see if we can do it. Because the moon's up there all the time. It's just a matter of how do we use it. Oops, that's not the picture I wanted to show you. Where did I go? There we go. Oops. I'll find it here just a second. Okay, that's our 2 meter 440, where if you wanted to do a single-handed type, satellite type communications, you can. Here, I'll go ahead and go to the bigger screen. You can, because you've got the 440 element. This version right here, it's a 9-element 440 quad with a 4-element 2 meter quad, and with an HT, you should be able to do quite well in communicating with not only just the satellites, but think about this. Another mode of communication that I've seen people experimenting with is FT8 on VHF and UHF. I know I'm speaking about FT8 and everyone's going guffaw, but you know what? Sometimes when you want to get a signal out, that's probably about your only bet. And it's fun to see where you go with just that. I mean, a lot of times when you're listening to FT8, all you're hearing is static, but yet for some reason the radio is picking up. I just need to show you this too. The radio is picking up stuff that we can't hear, and that's what makes it so neat. And that's what, in my mind, I can't wait for the 9700 to get out, because it's going to be fun to play with, just to get these mixed modes. So anyway, that's that. And then I had to throw this picture, and I know it's kind of a random thought. We're bouncing around a little bit, but someone had once asked us, how does our hex beam handle in the ice? That, my friends, is several inches of ice on the hex beam itself. You notice it still has its form and shape. And this is up in North Dakota. And they frequently have very, very high and heavy winds with snow and ice. And the only time we've ever had problems is when stuff strikes the antenna itself, like a duck, a goose, part of a cell tower. Yeah, we had a problem with that once where an antenna off of a cell tower blew off and hit the hex beam. So that was kind of interesting. But those are kind of the big things that we've been working on. And the give you an idea, I think we showed you last time what this did. I don't want to do that. Let's go with this. Open with photos. There we go. That's kind of what you can see from the 4-element quaggy or quad, which isn't too bad. 11.4 dBi. It's actually, when it's the versions that we've got now, this is an older picture. We're getting a little bit more gain. We're getting close to 12 dB gain, but that's about as much as you're going to get out of that one for that design. But it's nice. It gives you it's simple to put together. It's lightweight. That one antenna that's the 2 meter 440 is only 6 pounds, so it's not really. It won't break your wrist using it. Okay, and yes, we'll be making other versions of our quads and quaggies and so on. I could show you more pictures, but I'm sure you got other things you want to be dealing with. Any questions? Sounds like they got a lot going on the.
Well, I would open a phone line, but the phone line computer just started doing a Windows update.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at. By the way, they're going to be. James, can you type out what your call sign is going to be for Dry Tortuga? I think it's K4P. No, it's K4T or W4T. I think I can't remember which one it is.
November 4 Tango.
N4T. Perfect. So you'll be listening for that. They're going to be heading out on the 14th. I don't know exactly when they're going to be on the air, but be listening for them. You'll be hearing the young voices, and it'll be kind of cool to see how many people we can that they can contact. And then N4T, that's right. Okay. And then just for your reference, the quads are available through HRO, Gigaparts, and online directly. We'll be putting the I won't say the final, but the introductory stuff on our main page. So instead of seeing the Barrett, you're going to start seeing the quads. And yes, we do make them all the way down to 10 meters. Just I had someone ask me that question. So anyway, that's about all I've got. I'm going to probably sign off with you when you're done, because I have to. I got some other things I need to do tonight. I.e., I got to start working on posting stuff to the website so people can see these quads. I've had some really good fun playing with them out in the field. They're just so light, and so easy to use. Once again, I'm kind of impressed with the product, and I didn't even expect it to be that way.
Yeah, let's see what Katie's got going. I'm not going to keep the show open very long. I will open Hangout for just a few minutes tonight, but I've got to do some packing and get ready for Fort Benning trip tomorrow.
Benning, Georgia. Make sure you say hi to Iron Mike for me.
Iron Mike, okay.
You'll know him. You'll run into him about the time. You're going to be walking into the parade ground where they graduate, and there's a big statue. It's an iron statue, and his name is Iron Mike. Just say hi to him as you pass.
I'll do it. I'll do it for you. Well, Katie, thanks a lot too, man, for being with us tonight. And what are your plans this week? You going anywhere, or staying home, or what's your plans?
Let's see. This weekend we're home. We're not going anywhere until the end of the month, and just gonna do some more projects around the house, and think lay low. I don't think I have too much going on. We get all of our holiday decorating done over the weekends, so now my living room and office are very Christmassy and festive up there, and we're just hanging out. So
we got 2 weeks until Christmas, so. Yeah.
Yep. We went out and got our beef tonight, so we're ready for that. And but I hope you have a safe trip for it's your nephew, right? That's graduating.
Yeah.
So that's exciting, and congratulations to him and the family. And look forward to, maybe I'll try to catch you while you're out traveling tomorrow.
Okay. Well, hey, help me find something for the show next week. We'll have a show Tuesday. I'm not going to get back till late Friday, so I'm not going to have a lot of time to do a lot of planning. So, Emmett and Katie, you guys think of something for a show next week, and we'll have a good time next week.
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. All right.
I'll be there if Katie's going to be there.
All right.
All right, I'll be here if you'll be here.
Okay.
and I'll be here if both of you will be here.
That's even
All right,
better.
perfect. That's
Yeah.
Good deal.
All right,
well,
guys.
I'm going to say goodnight because I'm
good
about
night.
losing my
Good night
voice
to
here.
you. Enjoyed it, and I'm going to open up Hangout, and I'll be here for a few minutes with Hangout, and then we'll be out of here, packing our bag. See ya.
Sounds good. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. All right, so let me get Hangout open here. Let's see if we can get Hangout going. Just a few mouse clicks here, and we should have it. Hangout. Did anybody put the Hangout link in the chat room? I hope so. Yeah, they did. Thanks, Teresa, for putting it there. Let's see who's there. Hey, it says I'm the only one here. I'm the only one in Hangout. So we'll wait for somebody to join here. There we go. Well, I don't know what happened. Let's see. Still nobody in Hangout. There we go. We got Teresa in there. Hey, Teresa. You made it there. Let me see if I can get. There we go. Let me do this. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, and we got Douglas in there, our regular Douglas. He's in there every night. And we got Teresa, and look at that's your new word processor.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
There, now I can hear everybody. Haha.
And we've got James with us.
Tom's not here.
James Lee. And let's see who's.
All right, guys, we're live.
Let's see. Is that a Jim or a Tim? Jim. Hey, who's Jim? I think that's Jim. Yeah. Hey, Jim. How you doing, man? And there's the whole, almost the whole Lee family right there. Hi. Hey, guys, girls, guys. How you doing?
There's Space Anna hanging down.
That'll work.
Hey, you had a nice video. The video was really nice tonight. Enjoyed it.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, if you want, we'll probably have some videos we can share next Tuesday if you want as well.
Okay. We can probably do that. Just get in touch with me toward that weekend.
We'll be on the island that weekend. We get back
okay.
Monday night, but we won't have any internet connection on the island.
Okay.
But when we get back Monday night, I can send a couple videos to you.
Yeah, if you can get with me by Tuesday morning, that's cutting it a little close, but I can work on that. Yeah, that'd be good.
So we've got KM4IPF on the right side of the screen and KM4TXT on the left side of the screen there.
Yeah. And
they're up past your bedtime.
And who's that with the green hat?
Who is that?
That's Snowman, that's Snowman, that's Snowman. You don't have
All
him.
right. So, hey, it is past your bedtime, I'm sure there. It's getting late on the East Coast. And it's getting late here for me, too, with the things I need to do tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see. We got Douglas. We got James, Jim, Teresa on. We have a few in here tonight. Trying to see who all's joining us. Well, I lucked out that our DNSs got straightened out before the show came on tonight. I was real sweating it. They weren't working till about 6 o'clock, and They tell you, it might take 24 to 36 hours, but that's never really been the case for me. But it did take a few hours before it started working. And there's Jim out there. Hey, Jim, how you doing tonight? All right, I saw the thumbs up from him there. Okay, let's see, we got Hope and Grace and
That's there.
Zachariah is out there.
I get some audio working here.
And I don't know them. Look like snowmen, yeah. All right. Well, guys.
Hello, girl.
There we go. Hey, this is Puppet, and I guess Puppet Night.
What's up?
Oh, now you're offended.
What is that? What's that thing? What's that thing you've got there, Douglas? Is that a camel or something? What is that? A rabbit?
Yeah, kangaroo.
It's kangaroo.
We might have some audio. Hello.
Okay.
See if I can coax some audio out of this thing.
I got a quick question for chat room. Jerry is asking, what's the app that I use to control my radio? I'm not using that app anymore. That app was called, well, I forgot what it's called. But anyway, I'm doing something different now, guys. I'm doing a beta test. I'm testing a device, and we're designing it as we go. It's called Rig Pi. It's an RSS, and there's a picture of it right there is what it's going to look like. It's a RSS, or it's a rig station controller. It's based on the Raspberry Pi, and the thing is working beautifully. That box right there actually replaced my computer on my desk. I can browse with it. I can go anywhere on the internet with it. I can control any radios with it. We did a demo with it on a show several nights back. So go back 3 or 4 weeks in the show archives, and you'll see how it works. But it's cool, and hopefully it's going to be ready for the market there maybe in the next 6 months. Hopefully, maybe. All right. Well, guys, I hate to leave so early, but I haven't had any dinner tonight, and I've got to go pack and get ready to go to Fort Benning tomorrow.
You've got a very important occasion to attend, Tom.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to wear my Air Force cap. Maybe the Army guys won't give me too hard of a time there. I mean, they shouldn't.
It's a special moment. I don't have any relatives that have gone through academies or the service since my dad, but a lot of my ham buddies sent kids to the Marines and the Army, and it's always kind of a tearful moment to see the young people dedicating themselves to the service of the rest of us.
Well, and I tell you, it's probably the best thing in the world you can do. Now, our nephew, he was, I'm not sure how to describe him before he went in. Young kid. Hey, he may be pushing 19 or 20 now, but young kid, didn't know exactly where he's going, what he's doing, and not really getting in trouble, but kind of on the verge of it. And I think this Army thing made a completely different person out of him. And I have a feeling when I see him this week, he's going to be a totally different person.
Sometimes it takes a little discipline. We either get it at home, or we strive for finding some grounding later in life, just like stray RF. You need a place to be.
Well, sometimes when you get it at home, you can always run out the door and leave. But where he was the last 8 weeks, you don't get to go out the door and leave. They kind of lock you up there, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it.
You can't get out of the barracks, or people with guns come find you.
You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it one way or the other, and you'll get the discipline there, and it'll turn you around. In fact, I think about his 4th week, he and a couple of friends slipped off from the barracks and went over to some place where there vending machines and stuff, and he wasn't supposed to be there, so they kind of got grounded at the barracks the next weekend. So he already got punished for being in, but I think he's graduating Thursday, so that's going to be cool. They graduate a new group every week down there.
Yeah, well, good on you for
stadium going on.
Yeah.
Well, good on you for being a service example to him, and all the best for his career going forward. I've never met a military person that I couldn't respect or like for their service and some of the character they bring to life.
Well, I tell you, he might even make a career out of it. I mean, they're going to train him, they're going to give him a job, and they'll take care of him. And let me tell you, man, you get free shots. All that stuff's free, man.
Yeah, but you may get put on a C-130 and dropped into a desert, and that's not free.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, Jim, good to see you tonight. Everybody, I'm going to get out of here. Good night, Douglas. James, good night to you. Teresa, I got to go pack and get something to eat. You guys stay on the Hangout and talk if you want to. We had a good time tonight. We'll see you next week.
I got to drop out and do the food thing myself. Good night, Tom.
All right, we'll see you next week, guys.
Good night, Tom. Safe trip, and I'll hopefully see y'all next week, and I'll be a little bit happier person because I'll be done with school.
All right. Well, congratulations. All
At
right,
least for the semester.
See you later. All right. So, well, I think we had a pretty good night tonight. Even had a call from Santa Claus from the North Pole. He came in tonight. Hey, join our Facebook group. It's called W5KUB. Please join it. We got about 7,000 members now. Great ham radio site. And hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Shoot us an email if you have any ideas about a show, or if you got something neat and you want to be on a show, shoot me an email and let's talk about it. We'll see you at 73, and we'll talk to you later. Trying to find something here to close with. All right, well, good night, everybody. We'll see you later.